Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm just going to recommend you books based on your favorite songs. Not so long ago, actually it's quite long by the time this video is up because I procrastinate making this video. I posted a sticker on Instagram asking people to send me their favorite songs and I'll recommend a book based on that song. It's solely an excuse for me to find new music because I'm the kind of person that listens to just like one song over and over again until I get bored and I move on to the next one, which is also a song that I listened over and over again but years ago and I forgot about it. So it's like a cycle. Like I don't listen to new songs and I don't listen to songs that I already knew. As I was going through the songs and thinking about the books, I was thinking like, how should I recommend the books? Is it based on the lyrics? Is it based on the vibes? Is it based on the title of the song? And I decided to just do whatever I want. So you'll get a mix of everything. So the first song is You Miss My Heart by Phoebe Bridgers. I've never listened to her song. I know she's famous and she's like the sad girl, the sad hot girl musician, but I listened to this song. I really like the vibes. I was not expecting what was happening in the song because, you know, like from the title You Miss My Heart, I thought it was like, oh, it's going to be like a heartbreak kind of song where someone broke up with them and, you know, you're having like a mental breakdown because of like a sad love story. But it wasn't like that. It was a thriller. The guitar was soft and solemn, and then the lyrics is like, I stabbed this guy in the back, and before he died he said that you miss my heart. And I was like, oh my god, I kind of love it. What does that say about me? I have a recommendation just for the vibes. The book I recommend is Earthling by Sayaka Murata. Every time I pronounce a Japanese name, I pronounce it with a Korean accent. This book is like dog bad crazy shit. Like from the cover, it's so cute, right? I knew it's going to be weird, but I was not prepared for what was happening in this book, similarly to the song. I thought it was one thing, it turned out to be a different thing. This book has every single trigger warning you can think of. Prepare yourself. So the plot is just these two cousins who met when they were kids, you know, just like every cousin from like a very young age. They thought that they were like aliens, and even when they grow up they also still think that they're aliens, and to differentiate themselves from earthlings, like normal people, they do weird things and just like crazy things. So it's a book of trauma. It's a book of living in a society where a lot of principles are imposed on you and you're expected to live a certain way, and they rebel against it in the most crazy way possible. Like, you read these dialogues and you'll be like, what the fuck? But like, it's a good book and it's a very clever storytelling. So my favorite quote is, what I'm really scared of is believing that the word society makes me speak are my own. You're different. That's how I know you're from another planet. If you cannot handle the crazy things that happens in this book, and believe me, shit is crazy. Like, shit is about to go down. I would recommend Almond by Son Won-pyong. So it's a story about a neurodivergent boy where he has a condition that makes him unable to feel fear and like just register kind of threat. He was living with his mom and his grandma, and a traumatizing event happened. And when I say traumatizing, it's like the exact thing that happens in the song, just more traumatizing. Someone gets stabbed in the back and hit by a hammer. It's lighter than Earthlings, but shit was still going down just like in the song. Next one I have is Line Without a Hook by Ricky Montgomery. But this song is kind of like pop rock, and it's about loving someone madly, just the overwhelming feeling of it. So I have two recommendations for that. First is obviously A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. So this is the kind of book that you can't really recommend to other people because I would traumatize them by recommending this book. It follows four college classmates over the span of like 30 years, 40 years, and see them, grow up, become adult, getting jobs, and having lives of their own. But the main character here is Jude. I was traumatized, okay? I cried so much. Jude's relationship with one, especially Willem, one of the four classmates in that group, it's giving me Lion in the Hook kind of vibes. So that is my recommendation. But if this is too traumatizing, I'm just recommending traumatizing books to people. But if it is too much, I would recommend you Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This book is similar to A Little Life in many ways in that, the motif, the prose, the writing style, it's just less traumatizing. You probably have already heard of this book. It's about Sam and Sadie who met at a hospital in Los Angeles where Sam was recovering from a very bad accident and Sadie was there to visit because her sister, because her sister had cancer. So they bonded over playing video games with each other, but then they had a fallout, and the book actually starts when they met again at the subway station or something in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where Sadie then was a comp-sci student at MIT and Sam is a math student at Harvard. But the really, really great part about this book to me is the relationship of Sam and Sadie. I like that it stayed platonic throughout the book, even though they say they love each other and they can't live without each other. Okay, so my favorite quote is from Sadie. She said, "When I'm honest with myself, the most important parts of me were yours. Because I love working with you better than I liked the idea of making love with you, because true collaborators in this life are rare." And I think we need more book and more representation of platonic love because, I find that the most gratifying relationship in my life. The next song is Happy and Sad by Kacey Musgraves. They said that the title reminds them of Soren Bliss, and it does. The next song is Happy and Sad by Kacey Musgraves. They said that the title reminds them of Soren Bliss, and it does. But when I listened to the song, the vibes was not giving Soren Bliss. The vibes were actually giving Happy Hour. It feels like, you're at a bar, but it's not a super busy bar. It's just a bar, a low-key bar. And there's just soft, jazzy music playing in the background. So this book is about two girls, two best friends. That's just they travel around. This book is when they're in New York. But during the day, they just sell clothes at Flea Market. And during the night, they use their kind of hot girl, intellectual girl, smart girl, social capital to get into these social groups that are, it's just crazy. You meet celebrities, you meet really rich people, you meet artists that are rich. It's just hot girl doing hot girl things. It's a fun time, but it's a fun, sad time as well. I'm going to read you one of my favorite quotes from this book. "There's true pleasure in fabrics, shapes, pleats, and folds. People think it is frivolous, but feminine things are often thought of that way. It is an important kind of knowledge that is overlooked. In many cases, it is the first mode of expression women have access to." There is so many cracking lines about femininity, about girlhood, about friendship and grief and relationships. It's no plot, just vibes, but the vibes are immaculate. The next song is Breakdown by Mariah Carey, and the only Mariah Carey song I know is All I Want for Christmas Is You. Okay, so I'm just gonna be truthful with all of you. This is sent to me by my best friend. And I was it's my bestie, I'm gonna sing this song in the video for her. And I listened to the song and I was there's no way I can sing this. This song is essentially about a person having a mental breakdown because the person that she likes said that they don't love her anymore or don't love her at all. But she was like trying to play cool and nonchalant about it. So the book I recommend is Therapy because she needs therapy. Actually, this is a joke. I'm not going to do that. This is not my actual recommendation. I was just trying to be funny. But anyways, the actual recommendation for this song is Saving Agnes by Rachel Cusk. It is her debut novel. I had a really nice time reading it. It's fun, it's also sad, it's poignant, and yeah. So it's about Agnes. What is it about? Agnes is having a crisis. She's in her mid to late 20s, I think, and she is having a mental breakdown, or not really a mental breakdown, just like having a sad time because she just broke up with a man that doesn't deserve her. So it's about her going through the emotions. It's about her figuring out just her own identity after the breakup. It's like very smart too. Like it reads very smart. The way the prose is constructed. My favorite quote from the book is, "Your problems, Agnes," Nina Have says to her, is that you don't want to be like everyone else. You want everyone else to be like you. Ouch. Okay, hello friends. I am a fucking idiot. So I lost like half of the footage of the songs that I was supposed to recommend to people. So we're just gonna roll with what we have. The next recommendation is for IU. What is it? Through a Night. My favorite song ever. It's released in 2017. I still listen to it now, like on a daily basis, because it's IU, you know, the queen of K-pop. So Through a Night, I think a lot of people kind of associate it with like romance, you know, like it's a love song. I think it's more of an expression of longing. Even from the lyrics too, it's like 여기 내 마음속에 모든 말을 닦아줄 수 없지만 사랑한다는 말이에요. Like, though I still have many unspoken words in my heart, I still like to let you know that I love you. And I think the book that goes so well with these vibes is Lily King, Writers and Lovers. It's about Casey, who used to be a golf prodigy, but then it didn't work out for her, and now she's an aspiring novelist, so she's a writer, hence the title. And now she's working as a waitress whilst finishing up her ongoing novel for 6 years, and kind of going through the motions, grieving for the sudden death of her mother. In the writing here, the vibes, the ambience is really giving IU Through a Night. And I was listening to Through a Night nonstop when I was reading this book. It's actually one of my favorite books of last year, and I don't think I've ever mentioned it or I've never talked about it on this channel. It's just beautiful writing. So one of my favorite quotes is, when I was visiting her a few years ago, she hugged me and said, "Tomorrow after you leave, I will stand here at this window and remember that yesterday you were right here with me. And now she's dead, and I have that feeling all the time, no matter where I stand." Beautiful writing. Actually, also like ended up dating two guys at the same time. Like, not like cheating, but just like meeting people, you know, seeing two people at the same time, like we all do. And those two guys are very different. And one of the most interesting thing about this novel is that how Casey interact with the men in her life. I mean, and I think it's just very, very well done. So I would highly recommend it. The next song is 50 Proof by Ish or Jay of Day 6. I don't know if he's in Day 6 anymore. I think he's not. But I don't know who you are. Why are you not my best friend? Because this song is like my thing, you know? 50 Proof is about, you know, someone like you thinking about someone you love, and that person has an alcohol issue, hence the title 50 Proof. And now you're wondering
what they're doing, when they're on their 50 proof high. Who loves them now? Just do they still wake up at sunset and eat at home alone, watching the sunrise, asking all along what has gone wrong? All of those stuff, okay? And I think just basing off the vibes, the yearning, the sadness in the song, and the fact that the singer Jay turned out to not be a great guy, like most K-pop boys turned out to be. I'm just going to recommend you Norwegian Wood by Murakami. Nobody is a stranger to this book. I liked it. I've trashed on it, but I actually really liked it. I rated it 4 star, but I think this is the kind of book that if I think about it any more minutes, it will go down to 3 stars. But I'm not going to think about it, okay? That's not going to happen. So, Norwegian Wood I'm just going to read the blurb for you. I'm so tired at this point. When he hears her favorite Beatles song, Toru Watanabe recall his first love, Naoko, the girlfriend of his best friend Kizuki. Immediately, he is transported back to almost 20 years ago, just student day in Tokyo, adrift in a world of uneasy friendship, casual sex, passion, loss, and desire, to a time when an impetuous young woman called Midori marched into his life and he had to choose between the future and the past. Now listen, this book has cracking lines. I'm like, this man can write. Just see how much I annotated. I read it at the right time of my life too, so the exploration of youth and the emptiness when you're young and you don't really want to do anything, you don't want to have a job, you don't dream of labor. That's Toru. That's the guy. Yeah. So I liked it for what it is, but just like any Murakami book, you already know he has a problem writing women, and it was very uncomfortable to read. But anyways, I'm going to read you my favorite quote. You can read the book for yourself and be your own judge. I actually rated it 4 stars, so joke's on me. Oh my god, I'm actually kind of proud of it. Can you see my annotation? Like, come on, the effort I put in here, unmatched. Maybe I should do a video on how I annotate. Let me know if you want to see it. It's nothing special, but it is just one of his most favorite quotes, but I'm just going to read it to you anyways. I don't know. Sometimes I think I've got this hard kernel in my heart and nothing much can get inside it. I doubt that I can really love anybody. Maybe that was me. The next recommendation is, I think, something to the ghost, which I lost the footage that I was introducing that song. Anyways, really nice song. I think it's going to be my next favorite song of the month because I listened to one song for the entire month. That's how I roll. It's a really nice song, and it's giving like you're interested in this person very much, and all your ghosts know that you love them. It's a really nice song. It's like cute, but like kind of sad at the same time. Like we're seeing a theme here, cute, funny, happy, but also sad. The book that I'm going to introduce is The Idiot. So now is the actual footage that I took on that day talking about The Idiot by Elif Batuman.
This book has kind of like a romance line where she was exchanging emails with this guy, I think 2 years senior than her. He is a math major. His name is Ivan. And somehow Celine just kind of like developed this almost obsession, but not an obsession because she's from Harvard, she's smart, she's not going to do that for a man, but like she has a crush on him, and he is a terrible guy. Like, I think this man should be ran over by a truck. If I'm driving and I run over him, I think that's a fair casualty. We're not going to be mad about it. The police look at my criminal record and be like, who did you run over? Ivan? Yeah, it's fine. It feels really smart. You have to be smart to read this book. I'm just complimenting myself. It was kind of dense in the sense that there's a lot of like literature and linguistic thing or history thing that was packed in here. But I think it's still a compelling read, and it's really funny too if you get dry humor. And I'm gonna read to you a part that I really liked, I think. So it's one of their emails. So this is Celine writing to Ivan. You say you're not in the mood for insignificant subtleties, but insignificant subtlety are the only difference between something special and a huge pile of garbage floating through space. I'm not making that up. People discovered it in the 19th century. I think I'm falling in love with you. How can you write like that? That is so sweet. But Ivan does not deserve her. I'm looking forward to reading either or the sequel to this book. Those are all of the books that I recommended to you guys. I hope you find your next favorite book from the ones that I recommended, or else whatever you want to do. But if you're enjoying this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.